we have many heads of states who receive instructions from Paris, from London, before making any decision. We have heads of states who prefer to ally themselves with Paris or Washington to fight their own African brothers. So, guys, just dive right into it. The Africa China summit, they keep it around a week ago, and over a little over 50 heads of state went. And my only concern was if Burkina Faso will be there, and they did send a prime minister. And this prime minister stand on business by calling out ECOWAS, the EU, the Americans, and African leaders who are working with the Americans and the French against their own brothers and sisters. But take a listen to this speech in its entirety. You will understand it and understand where Burkina Faso and President Ibrahim Traore in Mali and Niger focuses on and where they are heading. This will paint that picture for you. So take a listen and hit me up in the comment section and let me know what you think about it as well, because it don't need any more dissecting after this, guys. It's self-explanatory. Take a listen. Boom. It must be said that currently the economy of Burkina Faso is based on three pillars. Firstly, there is mining production. Secondly, there is agricultural production, particularly with cash crops such as cotton, sesame, cashew, but also living crops. And thirdly, there are livestock products. Currently, we are emphasizing a fourth pillar, which is the quality of professional people. Professional training, the theme of this conference, therefore interests us very much, since it deals with the industrialization and modernization of agriculture, as such as China is referenced. In less than a century, China has industrialized and modernized its agriculture, has achieved food self-sufficiency, and it is set to export its products. So the Chinese example must inspire us. But China has succeeded in this feat because of the extent of its territory, the large number of its population, and its unity, and above all, the political unity in, in the desire to act. Unfortunately, it is what is currently lacking in Africa, because to push a given policy to keep its decisions, you need political will. And to have political will, you have to be free. He who is not free does not have will itself. But most of our African leaders are not free. When we are not free, we cannot determine a destiny for our own. People in Africa currently, and more particularly in French-speaking Africa, we have many heads of states who receive instructions from Paris, from London, before making any decision. We have heads of states who prefer to ally themselves with Paris or Washington to fight their own African brothers in such a context, to build an integrated set of development and industrialization. It's difficult as far as my country, Burkina Faso, is concerned. We noticed that in West Africa, cooperation between states was difficult to the extent that other heads of states receive instructions elsewhere to carry them out against even other Western African countries. This observation led us, together with Mali and Niger, to leave the sub-regional organization, which is the Economic Community of West African States. And I can say that now something new is happening in Africa because the three countries, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, which form an alliance on September 16, 2023. From July 6, 2024, constitute a state confederation, and its confederation aims to achieve a state federation in the coming years and as soon as possible. And I can tell you this: progress is irreversible if the constitution of confederate if the constitution of the confederation was done at the and in the instant under the leadership of three heads of state. The population of these countries have seized this project and are now pushing the leaders to move forward. So it is no longer a matter of leaders, it has become a matter of people of these three countries. And on this level, I can tell you that cooperation with China can have a lot, can have a future within the framework of this confederation, which has an area of more than 2,700,000 kilometers and which has a population of more than 80 million. But it must be that the modernization of agriculture and industrialization requires prerequisites, and this prerequisite is what is energy. Energy production, which is the weak link in our country. For example, in many cases in Burkina Faso, during periods of heat, peaks of heat, we are obligated to carry out energy regulations through power cuts in order to be able to satisfy everyone, because energy production is not sufficient. We cannot industrialize a country if we do not first solve the problem of energy production, and therefore I think that on this level, China is expected and could contribute to the development of energy production in Africa. Prior to the industrialization and modernization of the agriculture, the modernization of agriculture is happening. Agriculture also requires other prerequisites. We need roads, rail infrastructure for exchange of these industrial and agricultural products. And on this level in Burkina Faso, we have set up a rail production industry to facilitate the construction of railways, and there too we were waiting for Chinese contribution and expertise. For the upcoming realization beyond the country, we have a project for the construction of railways which would connect the capital from Ghana, Accra, to the capital of Burkina Faso, Ouagadougou. So this is to tell you that there is no shortage of projects. And all this is necessary because if we industrialize and modernize agriculture without planning, the conditions here will be suffocated and it will affect industrial products and agricultural production, but it is not enough. We must also take care of the men who man of the industrialization and this agricultural production. To train is necessary. So training is necessary. And also men's health is necessary. On this level, I think China which is the progress of building the which is in progress of building the largest reference hospital in the country in Burkina Faso and which will operational from 2025. So this is to tell you that must not we must not see industrialization and modernization of agriculture in isolation, but as a whole, so that there is no bottleneck in the process. I come back to say that China is interested in a united and developed Africa. If Africa was united instead of having to deal with 54 different countries, different states, China would have dealt with a single state that negotiates and will be done much easily, and the resolution will be taken much more quickly. Moreover, if Africa develops, the Africans will have some power to purchase far much more with China, and trade will multiply, so our interests are aligned. As much as Africa needs China to develop, as much as China needs Africa to develop also, because with trade it produces its isn't this a stimulating effect? So now, Mr. Excellency, Mr. Heads of States and Government, it is to tell you that the prospects depend on us and depends first of all on the will and the political will. So I would like us to examine this carefully and take into account that we must first and foremost free ourselves from all supervision and direct ourselves towards ourselves, and so that any harmonious and sustainable development can take place. So, guys, so that's the end of the speech. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. I won't comment on it because, again, it's self explanatory, and I want you guys to give me your thoughts on it in the comment section. As always, tell a friend, like, comment, share, subscribe. Boom.